The Uruguayan Air Force is one of the three main branches of the Armed Forces of Uruguay under the Uruguayan Ministry of Defense. The current head of the force is General of the Air Washington R.Martinez. History. Military aviation in Uruguay was born on 17 March 1913 when the Military Aviation Academy was formed at a small airport 50 kilometers from Montevideo. The first aircraft were a Farman Longhorn biplane and a Blériot monoplane. As with many other Latin American countries, flight instruction was initially performed by a European instructor. 10 Army officers formed the select group chosen to be the first Uruguayan military aviators. Among them were CPT Juan Manuel Boiso Lanza and LT Cesareo L. Burisso. Boiso Lanza was the first fatality of the FAU, dying in a plane crash on 10 August 1918. He later became the namesake of CPT Boiso Lanza Air Base in Montevideo, the current FAU headquarters. Burisso became the first commander of the Air Force Flight School and was later the namesake of Gen. Cesareo Burisso Air Base in Carrasco, the headquarters of Air Brigade I. Along with two other young officers, Adhemar Sáenz Lacueva and Esteban Christie, they gained the military aviator rating in Argentina and Chile and formed the Military Aeronautical School on 20 November 1916. This school was the only military aviation facility in Uruguay until 1935. Several European aircraft types were used in fairly large numbers during the 20s, among them 16 Avro 504 kiloseconds, 13 Breguet 14s, 5 Castor Iber 913 IVs, 28 Newport 27s. These pioneering years saw many air routes opened and an overall increase in the awareness of the military potential of this nascent force. In 1935 the school was transformed into the Military Aeronautics Division and 5 units were created as well as several air bases. Typical aircraft of the 30s and 40s were European types like the Pates 25A Tuto, the Spad S-7 and S-13, the de Havilland DH-82 and the Amamro 37, but this era also saw the transition to aircraft of American pedigree. Beech at 11 and Douglas C-47 transports, Waco JHD and NAA Texan trainers, and NAA B-25J bombers were used in this period. The arrival of F-51 Mustangs in the early 50s notably enhanced the capabilities of the Air Force. There were now 9 aviation groups and the Military Aeronautics Division was officially renamed the Military Air Force on 4 December 1952. This change in nomenclature was important because it signified the independence of the branch from the Army command structure. The new force was reorganized into 3 commands and a brigade structure was implemented along with a fully staffed headquarters. The Uruguayan Air Force grew from this foundation. Later, some new units were created such as the aerial commands, but no radical changes were made. The FAU received its first jets when Lockheed T-33S and F-80S arrived in 1955 and 1958. The FAU also employed the de Havilland Chipmunk, using 10 from 1954 to 1962. The first helicopters were Bell 47s and Hiller H-23Fs, followed by the venerable Bellew H-1B who is, present, a substitute for the 2 Lockheed C-130Bs needed in near time. Despite the program depot maintenance and major upgrade realized by Chilean aircraft manufacturer ENAER, candidates are the EADS Casa C-295 and possibly Shark CY-8. Despite no official statement has been done, in the medium and light transport branch Bandeirantes have being restored to flight by Alga Aviation in Brazil since the end of 2013. In 2009, two CASA C-212 were bought from Sweden as a temporary solution, and another two former Portuguese Air Force C-212-300 are to be incorporated in 2015. China has offered Harbin Y-12, and rumors about a purchase of some Cessna 208 were denied recently. The Uruguayan Air Force is looking for a new fighter plane as its fleet of Dragonflies are reaching the end of their operative life. In May 2013, 18 refurbished Sukhoi Su-30 Mki were offered by the Russian Federation and Sukhoi in remarkably favorable conditions that included credit facilities and an agreement branch for maintenance. These conditions were offered for the Yak-130 Mitten II. By December 2013, Uruguayan personnel flew this plane in Russia. Current negotiations are ongoing. According to Scramble, a number of Cessna A-37B were purchased from the Ecuadorian Air Force in January 2014. In August 2014, the Uruguayan and Swiss governments discussed a possible agreement for the purchase of 10 Swiss Air Force Northrop F-5E, F Tiger II Plus engines, spare parts and training. Also, the UAF showed interest on the Pucara Delta modernization program offered by FADEA organization. Today the FAU comprises about 3,000 personnel organized into 3 brigades and various support groups. Air Brigade I was founded as N1 Aeronautics on 1 April 1936. It originally consisted of 8 but has 25 biplanes. Today, the brigade includes the Central Office for Assistance and the Carrasco Central Coordinator for Rescue. It also includes N3 Squadron and N5 Squadron. Air Brigade 2 includes N1 Squadron, N2 Squadron, the Advanced Flight Squadron, and the Liaison Squadron. Air Brigade 3 includes N7 Squadron. The Uruguayan Air Force also includes service divisions for logistics, communications and computer science, information, infrastructure, maintenance, meteorology, health, remote aerospace sensors, and transport. The FAU is involved in search and rescue, disaster assistance, and transportation to remote locations within the country. Air bases. The Uruguayan Air Force currently has 5 bases. Air Brigade I is based at Gen. Cesareo Bariso Air Base at Carrasco International Airport near Carrasco. Air Brigade 2 is based at 2nd LT Mario W. Paralada Air Base at Santa Bernardina International Airport in Durazno. Air Brigade 3, the High Command, and the Command School are based at Capitan Boiso Lanza Air Base in Montevideo. Air Squadron 7 is based at Angeles, Adami Airport, also in Montevideo, and the EMA is based at Gen. Artigas Air Base in Pando. The Aeronautics Technical School is located in Toledo Sur in the Department of Canelones. Aircraft. Current infantry rank structure. Officers wear the rank insignia on the sleeves. The insignia are nearly identical to that used by the RAF and Air Forces of Commonwealth nations.